If you struggle with the user experience in Notion on mobile devices being less efficient than you'd like it to be, then this video is for you. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Chelsea Lewis, and on this channel we talk about all things design, productivity, and life as a student because as of the time of filming, I'm a full-time student working toward a career in design and product management. In this video, I'm going to go through a couple ways that I hack my iPhone to work more efficiently with Notion. It's not really a secret that the Notion mobile app isn't really as user-friendly and awesome as it could be, but I can say that being in the beta testing program for the new mobile app, they are actively working on improving it. But despite that, I have a few things that I do to personally make that experience a lot better and a lot faster in my day-to-day workflow. I'm going to add timestamps to this video, but today I have two hacks that I use to make Notion a lot easier to use on mobile. The first one applies to Android users. The second one, unfortunately, is only for iPhone users. And there is a third thing that I'll talk just a little bit about, and you can tell me if it's something that you want to see a separate video on because it is a little bit more in depth. So those two things are mobile dashboards and focus modes using your iPhone settings. And the third thing that I use a lot are iPhone shortcuts. And like I said, if that's something that you're interested in learning a little more about, then let me know in the comments below and I'll look into making a video specifically on that, but it's a little bit too much to include in this particular video. So today, what we're going to show you is how I set up some mobile dashboards to make access on my phone a lot easier, and then how I use iPhone focus modes to help me kind of stay on track through my day-to-day using my phone. So let's go ahead and dive right into my Notion demo space and I'll show you what this actually looks like. So what we're looking at here is my mobile dashboards page. I have kept it very simple on purpose because this page is really more of a placeholder than something that I actively use or access. But because it's designed so simply, it makes this particular page very mobile friendly as well. I'm going to take you through each of these pages, these little dashboard designs, and show you both in Notion on desktop and in Notion on mobile why they're so useful and mobile friendly. But first, we need to discuss a few things regarding my philosophy around mobile dashboards or mobile friendly pages. I am not the type to really use my phone a ton with Notion. I prefer using it on desktop because the user experience is far superior to mobile. So in order to determine what I wanted to create for my mobile-friendly pages, I first considered what things I found myself needing to do in Notion while I was on my phone. There's really like a couple main things. There's something that's just very simple and done usually in passing. The bulk of my Notion work is done on desktop for sure. The things that I find myself needing to access or view on mobile are my tasks for today. I like to update my daily journals, and then usually just quick adding pieces of information like content or tasks or notes or things like that, even like general content ideas for like Instagram posts or YouTube videos. So those are really the only things that I find myself needing often while I'm on the go. So outside of those things, I really don't use Notion on my phone. I'm a firm believer that your mobile usage reflects how you value your time and that you should be incredibly aware of it because phone addictions are very real. So I've made huge changes in my life in the last 6 months to dramatically reduce my phone usage, and I don't intend on changing that. I do plan on doing a video soon about how I did that and what things I have on my phone now, basically. Back to this. Keeping in mind my three main uses, I'm going to go ahead and dive right into these pages to show you really how this is all set up and works. So going through my mobile dashboards, like I said, I keep all of my pages for mobile that are mobile specific very simple. You can see this is not even set up to be full width, and I just have a list of pages. In this first page, really the point of this page is to be able to start my day by adding a new daily planner. You can see I've already done that for today, so obviously it's showing here. But normally it would just be this new button. That's it. All this is filtered to do is show me my daily journal with the date being today. And that's it, really. Actually, there's a couple other things. I'm not going to go deep into this review system, but basically the date is today. That's all that shows me. And then the next things that I want to see are the things that are part of my morning routine. So these are built into my task database, but they're filtered to show me only things that have due dates of today, and the routines is set to morning. I kind of segment out those routines, and I'll do a whole different video on that at some point. When I first start my day, I want to open this good morning page, start my day, my daily journal, and then see what things are in my morning routine for that day. I do some chores generally. There's other things on specific days, and these are all set up to kind of repeat. That's a whole different video too. That's all I want to see. I want to see what gets my day started the right way before I do anything else. So you could keep this if you didn't want this to be your task database. You could literally just have a list that's kind of like a reminder. And I'll show you what this looks like on mobile after we kind of go through the rest of the dashboards. So that's that dashboard. And you'll see I keep it very, very simple, very intentionally. I don't use a full width page. And you'll notice that in all of these, you'll see it in the rest of them, I'm always using the gallery view. And there's a reason for that. It's because gallery view ends up looking sort of the cleanest and simplest when you're looking at mobile. And now on desktop, I know you're seeing it in 2 columns. On mobile, it will literally only show up as 1 column. The point of these dashboards is really to keep everything so simple so that you're only a couple of clicks away from what you need to access at any given time. And the other nice thing about having them in pages is that you can favorite these pages. You'll see, I don't have this one particular one favorited, but some of them I do. But you can favorite those if you want quick access from your sidebar. So, which is something that's actually getting easier to access on mobile. Let's go through a couple of the others. One of the other most beneficial ones is going to be this brain dump one. Now, there's a couple specific things I've done to keep this nice and clean as a quick access to certain databases. So you'll see, again, we're using a gallery view. It's a very simple, like narrow width page. And then I just have it linked up to a few different databases that I know I access all the time to just quickly brain dump information. So let me show you a trick with these filters in this particular gallery view. So this obviously connects to my tasks database. So the filter here is going to be task name is empty. Now that seems strange. Why would we do that? And the reason is because when you click this on mobile, you click this new button, it's going to open a new page. And then once you fill everything out, namely you fill something in on the name of the database item, it's going to make it so it doesn't show in this, but it will add it to your master task database. And the reason I like this is because sometimes I just need to quickly get to a place where I can just drop this in. And I always have a quick shortcut to this page on my mobile device. So that way I'm literally 2 clicks away from adding a task, which in my mind is really the same as any task manager that you might use separately on a mobile device. Almost always you're gonna have to open the app and then click a plus button to add a new task. And that is what this enables me to do in pretty much the same exact way. And then all of my fields for adding my task are handy right there. Can quickly type them in, close it, and I'm good to go. The same goes for all of the rest of these. If I come up with a random content idea while I'm out and about or doing something else where I only have my phone at quick access, I can quickly, same thing, my 2 taps, open this page, tap to add a new content idea. Same thing for notes. And then this is something that I'm experimenting with, is I'm calling it a problem log. And I'm not going to talk much about what that actually is, but that's the purpose of this, is to have quick 2-tap access to add something to a certain area of my database. Now, it's nothing fancy or pretty to look at, but it's very purposeful and intentional. There are 2 things I want to talk about. With the good morning, you'll see that database just gives me the place that first thing in the morning, I can start my daily journal, review the items that I have on my morning routine agenda, and kind of prioritize those things. And I'll show you why and how I have these set up when we get to discussing focus modes, but I need to kind of just point out what these are. The second one that I have a page for to prioritize is my daily reflection. And this is really, really similar, you'll notice, to the daily journal. And what it does is, again, shows me today's journal, slightly different view of it. because this helps me see if I've added a photo of the day. That's something I like to do. So in my daily journal, you'll see I have a little area where I can quickly add a photo from my phone. And then that photo will actually fill the place of this card. And then it shows me all of my tasks for tomorrow. So it shows me exactly what I have on deck, including my morning routine things. And then they're just filtered and sorted in such a way that's useful for me to just get a quick glance of what tomorrow holds. Those two specific pages come into play when we talk about focus mode. So I'm going to jump over to my phone now, and we're going to talk a little more about focus modes and how they're really powerful with Notion widgets and some of these mobile dashboards. Okay, so one of the biggest reasons Notion is successful as a productivity tool is because you can customize it to surface the right information in the right ways at the right time. Combining this with the power of widgets on the iPhone really kind of takes that concept to the next level. I'm going to go through 2 examples of ways that I use the focus modes on my phone and show you how they really change things for me. So first thing in the morning, you'll see that I have a focus mode called morning. And what this does for me is shows me this screen. You can see that really the entire point of this is to kind of keep me in my lane with a very simple, like, hey, here's the weather today. I like to just see a calendar. I don't necessarily like to see my tasks, but it's just like a visual of like where I'm at in the week. And then you'll see that I have a big widget that is a Notion page, and this should start to look very familiar to the Good Morning page that we just saw when we looked over mobile dashboards. And then obviously I always have my Nest available because I like to be able to make sure the thermostat's right in my house and cameras and all that kind of stuff. So I just like quick access to that. Anything else, really, I don't have accessible on my phone without swiping to my apps page. It kind of just is a visual that's like, hey, start your day, go to your Good Morning page. So if I open this, you'll see that it opens exactly what we just looked at on the desktop version of the page. And like I said, it's in a single column kind of view. It's just a nice view of like what today has going. And I'm pretty particular. I don't actually use cover pages on my, or cover images on my Notion mobile pages because they just add space to the top that make me have to scroll further, and it's unnecessary. I don't need it. I almost wish Notion would let me make this icon smaller on mobile. Maybe that's coming. I don't know. Side note. Okay, so that's my Good Morning. It just gives me a quick way to access what I need. The second way that I use focus modes is in the evening when I go to, my phone goes to what's called sleep mode. So I'll go over focus modes and how to set them up and whatnot, but just to kind of show you what they have. So something very similar in the evenings. I don't want to see anything except for my daily reflection, which is the same page that we showed you, or that I showed you just a second ago. That daily reflection page where I can go in and type out like my wins for the day, my gratitude, something I created, something that was a challenge. I can take time to put in my photo here, all of that kind of stuff. And that's it. And then at night, I give myself permission to spend time reading from my Kindle books. So I have Kindle accessible. Now you'll see these other 2 little pink checkbox. Those are the shortcuts that I'm talking about. So task due date, task no due date, they just are meant to have quick access to drop in tasks for Notion. And that's because often I just need to brain dump things. And so it does a really good job of that. As far as focus modes, let's go into where to set them up and kind of how I've set up a specific home screen for each focus mode, and then how to activate them, and then limits on how many you can have. So inside of your settings on your phone, this is where you will find focus modes. So if you go into settings and then focus, again, sorry, Android users, this is obviously only iPhone. I don't know if or how you do this on your devices. So do not disturb is a focus that you'll already have. If you haven't used these before, you probably have ones that are like work and personal or something like that, and it's asking you to set them up. I think there's a limit of 10. I'm pretty sure it's 9 or 10. I can't remember for certain. You'll also have a sleep one that you can't disable because do not disturb and sleep are just built into it. And actually driving, I don't think you can delete or disable either. You can disable it, but you can't delete it. Oh, you can delete driving. That's weird. So the ones that I've set up are morning, and then I've just modified the sleep. So let's go into the morning focus mode. So in the morning focus mode, if it's activated, this little switch at the top will be turned on. You can choose to allow certain people that can break through your focus, and you can choose to allow certain apps that can break through your focus, which means they'd be able to give you notifications. Anything outside of those things will not break through the focus mode and give you notifications. As soon as you disable the focus mode, those notifications will come up. And then obviously in here, you can go in and set up like a status. This will show your contacts if you're in a focus mode. And it just says that you have notifications silenced, and it will allow you to set up a home screen. So you can go into your custom pages and choose which page you want to see for your focus mode. So I'll show you how to set up a custom home screen in just a second. You can also set what shows on your lock screen or what you can see. You can choose the name and the little icon for your focus mode. And then this is where you get to activate them. So you can have it do smart activation. I'll be honest with you, I have experimented with smart activation and I've never had it activate itself. So I don't know what that's based on, and maybe I'm not a heavy enough user of my phone to show how that works, but either way, it doesn't really do much for me. But I do have schedules on my focus modes. So I like to set up a schedule that's like from 6:30, which is the time I wake up generally, to 9 in the morning. I want it to give my morning focus mode because I don't want to be interrupted with notifications quite that early. And I also want to make sure that I am focusing on starting my day and getting through those things first. So that's how you set up focus modes and what you can do with them. There's all sorts of things you can do. Like if you open an app, you can have it start a new focus mode. You can, like when you're reading, you don't want to be interrupted, you can connect an app to it and your phone will automatically detect when you open that app and activate whatever focus mode. And then same thing with like locations. If you work outside of the home, you can have it. You can identify where your work location is. You can set it with time-based, obviously, too. And then obviously you can always swipe down from this top and choose your focus mode this way. Decide what you want it to be. So that's a little insight into focus modes and how they work, how you can use them to your benefit with Notion. Let's go quickly through how to actually set up a page in a focus mode so that you can use specific pages and only make them viewable in focus modes. So what we're going to do here is we're going to push and hold so that we can get this little home screen organization. And then you're going to click on this and you're going to go to, hold on, they changed this on me. You're going to swipe over it and get a new page. And then you're actually going to want to grab whatever apps you want available on that focus mode and drag them over to this. I'm not going to add any, but I am going to add a little widget so that you can see how that works. So let's quickly add a Notion widget. And then we'll have this link to this page, okay? And then you'll see that that links up to the Life Dashboard page. Now, if I go ahead and click on this, I can assign, they changed this. This is a little different. Okay, I can go ahead and assign, let's say I'm gonna assign this home screen to that and then do done. Okay, they definitely changed this. There used to be a way that you could not have, oh, here's how you need to do it. Okay. So that's how. So you can't be inside of a focus mode. Thanks for bearing with me while I figured that out. You can't be inside of a focus mode when you go in to edit your screens, but you'll see that I have 3 different home screens. So this is the one, this bottom right one is the one that we just created. This top left one is my all the time page, homepage. And then this top right one is my good morning, and this bottom left one is my nightly focus mode. So I only have those 4 pages. But then what happens is you'll find that if you create a new page, now you have a new page when you're not in a focus mode at all. So I don't have a focus mode turned on, but when you're in one, or when you're not in one, maybe I don't want this extra page there. So I'm going to push and hold, and then I'm going to tap on this at the bottom, the 3 dots thing, or however many pages you have, it will give you those dots. And then I'm going to uncheck all of the ones that I don't want to see while I'm in that particular no focus mode. And now I'm back to just having my main page and then access to whatever I need and no focus mode active. But now if I go back in to, I had that focus mode set for filming, now you'll see that's my home page for that. And I have nothing else on it. Like, that's it. I'm going to undo that, by the way. I don't need that particular mode for that. But if I go to morning, now swipe out of that. Oh, it's because I activated this on the morning focus too. So I don't need this on morning focus. Oh, that's where I created it. That's right. Okay, edit pages. And I'm going to disable that page. I only need this one for my good morning page. So there we go. So you can have a whole series of pages and you can apply different pages, a whole sequence of different pages to all of your modes. So that's just kind of a quick overview on how focus modes work. I'm sure if you want more insight into that, there's tons of videos on YouTube for you, but that's really how I use it. So that's it. I really wish I had a way to quantify the amount of time that this particular system has saved me in using Notion and being nice and efficient and easy to access from my phone, but I don't. Like I said, I don't use Notion as a full-fledged platform on mobile, but I do like to have it accessible quickly for especially the things that I showed in this video. And I felt like it was really necessary in order to fully integrate that into my overall Notion workflow and how I use Notion on a day-to-day basis. So let me know in the comments if you already use mobile dashboards or if you're going to implement mobile dashboards as a result of watching this. And which ones? What are you using them for? I'd really love to know how other people find ways to implement this in their own systems and how it helps you. And again, if you want me to do a video on using iPhone's Shortcuts app to add things to your Notion databases really quickly and easily, even quicker and easier than the actual focus modes and quick pages and mobile dashboards that I showed in this video, then let me know in the comments if that's something that you want to see, and I'll see about putting that together. But other than that, I hope this has been helpful for you or inspirational for you in some way. And as usual, if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. You can find me on Instagram at Chelsea Lewis Creates, and I hope that you'll follow me there. Subscribe if you haven't already, like if you enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.